It is time for Mario in space. Hello everyone, this is the ComedicSociopath for review number 2 in my first in the Nintendo series, Super Mario Galaxy. Where do I begin with this masterpiece? I remember standing outside Nintendo World with my friends during the midnight release, and that alone was an amazing experience. Once I popped that sucker in, I knew I was in for a wonderful treat. The feeling of leaping from planetoid to planetoid, spin attacking enemies in the way of saving your special one, flying through the cosmos on an adventure Sweet Nibbler's game is phenomenal. This is one of the games to own on a Nintendo Wii, and let me tell you, Nintendo worked their magic again. I'll be the first to say I didn't consider Super Mario Sunshine a worthy successor to the legacy of Super Mario 64. Was Sunshine a great game on its own? Yes it was, but it didn't urge me to complete it 100% like 64 did. When Mario Galaxy finally came out, I felt as if I had my 64 successor. Super Mario Galaxy has a story. Well, you know, Bowser's being a menace to society, and not RPG Bowser menace levels where he's comical but an actual threat. And it's time to save the princess. Again. Once a century, a massive comet goes by the world of Mario, dropping magical stars and bits to the world below. This is known as the Star Festival. Princess Peach invites Mario to enjoy the festivities with her, and we all know how this is going, because whenever she invites Mario to something, the universe goes out of its way to make sure his day involves stepping on a Goomba or four. Bowser launches a full-scale assault on the Mushroom Kingdom, and seriously, he attacks during a festival of things, so you know he has no manners. His aerial armada from Super Mario Bros. 3 returns as he rips Princess Peach's castle into the sky, and Mario's blasted into space by his loyal servant Kamek. When he regains consciousness, he finds out that Bowser's assault wasn't just limited to the Mushroom Kingdom, but Princess Rosalie in the Comet Observatory as well. She explains to Mario that Bowser has taken the Power Stars and fled with Princess Peach, so Mario's tasked with returning the Power Stars to the Comet Observatory to help Rosalina and her family of Lumas save Princess Peach and stop Bowser's nefarious plans. Actually, this sounds like a regular Monday morning in the Mushroom Kingdom. Super Mario Galaxy takes the basic 3D Mario controls and adds a new spin to it. And no, I didn't make that pun intentionally. You move with the analog, you jump with A, Z is to crouch, or if you're in the air, ground pound. If it is held, you can crawl on the ground. While aiming at the TV, pressing B will fire starbits to stun enemies or feed hungry Lumas who are levels of adorable. The C button centers the camera behind Mario, and with the D-pad you can turn the camera by pressing left or right, and by pressing up you could go into first-person view mode. It wouldn't be a Wii game without motion controls, as you waggle the Wiimote to perform the new spin attack for offensive and movement purposes. The Wiimote itself is used to interact with the environment via the star cursor, and use it to activate sling pods, pull stars, and collect star bits. Many of Mario's old tricks are back in this one, such as the triple jump, the long jump, wall jumping, ground pound, and the new home and ground smash, which is perfect for killing enemies who are a pain in the ass. Fuck you, Octo Goombas. Speaking of enemies, lots of old enemies return for this spacey adventure. Goombas, Piranha Plants, Boos, Mecha Koopas, Chain Chomps, Bullet Bills, and even Bonsai Bills are back to kill you, and there are newer enemies like the previously mentioned Octo Goombas and their kin. Fuck you, Octo Goombas. This is a platform where gravity is the main premise, so sphere walking is a thing here. Planetoids had their own gravitational pull, allowing Mario to perform some really interesting and amazing acrobatic feats, and considering the fact that jumping, flying, and hurling Mario through the galaxy is a thing, fall damage doesn't exist here. There are some unique levels that require you to hold the Wiimote in a different manner, such as the Loop-de-Loop Galaxy and the godforsaken Green Star Galaxies, which add a new element to controlling Mario as you seek a Power Star, and by new element I mean Rage Inducer. Power-ups make a return in this game, ranging from the new B-Suit, which allows Mario to fly for a limited time, climb certain surfaces, the Boost Suit, which transforms Mario into a boost so he can phase through objects, fly for a limited amount of time, though getting hit by light will return him to normal. The Ice Flower, which allows Mario to run and skate on water, freeze water-related objects by standing on them, create platforms, and being a graceful figure skater when you execute a triple jump. Last of the new power-ups is less of a power-up and more of a colossal fuck you mushroom. The Spring Suit feels clunky, but no other power-up can help Mario reach the same height of jumping as the Spring Suit can, when you get the damn thing to work. Returning power-ups such as the Fire Flower, which has its first 3D appearance, allows you to chuck fireballs everywhere, but it's a time limit based power-up akin to the Power Star, which in this game is known as the Rainbow Star. When you use the Rainbow Star, you are treated to an invincible psychedelic trip as Mario releases numerous after images in his wake of destruction. Look-wise, Galaxy is colorful, whimsical, and bright one moment, dark, dank, and dreary the next, and considering it was on the Wii, the graphics are on the high end of pretty. The atmosphere of this game is rivaled by very few games of its generation, and even past generations, as each level's theme and music comes together to form a package that can only be described as magical. Characters you encounter mid-level, such as the Lumas, Toads, or specific NPCs, offer their help with funny little pieces of information, and while moments with Bowser are treated as something serious, the overall feeling of character interactions are amusing and warm. While Mario games aren't known for their award-winning stories, Super Mario Galaxy does provide a backstory for Rosalie in the endgame, and as you progress through the game itself, the more her past story unfolds, and I will admit, her tale is a rather somber one. It is a Mario platformer in 3D. You jump, you run, you swim, you climb, you fly through the cosmos, stepping on enemies foolish enough to get in your way. Bash bosses who are pathetically easy, discounting Boulder guys in this Daredevil run because that's just malicious. Collect the Power Star, open up more levels, and repeat till you save the princess at the end of your journey. While it doesn't have the exact open world feeling that Super Mario 64 held, there's a sense of awe to be had as you stand in a giant toy train, traverse through a haunted house, and try not to die in a desert on your journey to defeat Bowser. There is a lot to do in Super Mario Galaxy. You need at least 60 stars to fight Bowser at the center of the universe, and there are 120 stars in total, not to mention the levels are quite lengthy to make up for their linearity. Prankster comics, which are redos of levels with conditions like complete a requirement in a certain amount of time, the always entertaining Purple Coin comics, and the dreaded Daredevil comics exist to crank the difficulty scale up to 11. Upon collecting 120 stars, you can unlock my all-time favorite Mario character, Luigi, who surprisingly enough plays differently from his older brother. He jumps higher, but he has crappy traction, so he slides before coming to a complete halt. But in my eyes, I can play as Luigi, which is good enough for me. If you are dedicated or bored enough to get all 120 stars again with Luigi, with some challenges being hard such as the Cosmic Races, you unlock the Star Festival for one final yet simple star, bringing your grand total to 241 stars. While the bosses range from pathetic to decent time killers, the challenge comes from the levels themselves, and some of the later levels offer more than just a decent challenge, as some are just hair-pulling in terms of frustrating. I would like to take this moment to say screw you Dreadnought Galaxy's Purple Coin mission and Luigi's Purple Coin challenge in Toy Time Galaxy. Fuck you guys. There isn't much for me to complain about in this game, but believe me, I'll find something to whine about. There is a sequel to Mario Galaxy, and upon going back and forth, the controls in Part 2 are certainly tighter, and when you run underneath a planetoid or stand upside down, the controls can get a little wonky and respond in ways meant to get you killed. Coupled with missions that involve collecting something in a certain period of time, it is a constant source of frustration when the controls react in a manner you don't want it to. While numerous amount of enemies have returned from previous games, none is more threatening and one-up consuming than the camera itself. Has it improved since the days of 64? Oh yes. Will it kill you? Yes it will. There are moments in which you wish you can angle the camera, but you can't due to your positioning. Coupled with the controls being affected by even the slightest gravity shift, you have an adversary more dangerous than Bowser himself. Not all levels are fun and interesting, and while I understand that the pains vary, there is no denying that some levels are mere recolors and rearranged versions of previous levels. Best case example is the Golden Leaf Galaxy, which is really similar to Honey Hive Galaxy. Another complaint I have is the lack of difficulty that comes from the bosses, but that seems to be a recurring trend in Mario games outside the RPG format. You fight Bowser a total of 3 times, and 2 of those times he's rather easy to defeat, and while his final fight can get a little messy, he hardly qualifies as a real possibility of a game over. Discounting when the prankster comics turn bosses into race against the clock or don't get hit challenges, the bosses are really pathetic. Lastly, while I do enjoy using Luigi and his Cosmic Races are a bit harder than Mario's due to the Cosmic Clone being more skilled, collecting all 120 stars is already a time sink. There is very little variation or change to the gameplay that would warrant collecting all 120 stars again just for one more star to some people. Super Mario Galaxy is a wonderful game. It is colorful, it's playful, and is whimsical enough that a guy like me still views the sensation of leaping, jumping, stomping, spinning, and ruining Bowser's day as quite the experience years after the game's first release. To this day, there's something magical about Nintendo games that I just can't put my finger on, but the experience just gives me warm and fuzzy feelings on the inside. And you can ask my friends, I hate being warm and fuzzy on the inside. Despite some levels being a chore and some iffy controllers here and there, Super Mario Galaxy is a must-play if you own the Wii or Wii U. Unless you don't enjoy Mario games and to you I say, what sort of childhood did you have that you don't like Mario games? There's no real reason to not give this game a shot, as the atmosphere, the gameplay, and the sheer fun factor is enough to warrant at least a play. Super Mario Galaxy will remain one of my favorite games of all time, as it captures the same feeling I had when I played Super Mario 64 for the first time so many years ago. It even captured the terror of being underwater and ghost levels while taking up another level by mixing them both for one horrific combination. Yay for childhood trauma! At any rate, play Super Mario Galaxy, the experience is worth it, and this intelligent life form positively loves this game. This is the Comedic Sociopath, bowing out.